My friends, there's a quiet kind of power that doesn't shout, doesn't demand, and doesn't threaten, yet when it enters a room, everyone feels it. It's the kind of presence that doesn't need to say, respect me, because respect is given naturally. You've seen people like that, calm, collected, graceful, and yet no one dares cross a line, and they don't need to raise their voice to make a point. They don't need to act superior to earn dignity. Their energy alone demands respect, and that's exactly the kind of person you have the power to become. You see, the mistake many people make is believing that to be respected, you must be loud, dominant, or intimidating. But real respect doesn't come from fear. It comes from strength, and strength doesn't need to be rude, arrogant, or controlling. True strength is quiet, consistent, and unshakable. It's the kind of power that says, I know who I am and I won't let anyone make me forget it. When people disrespect you, it's not always because they hate you. Often it's because they sense you don't fully respect yourself. People treat you the way you allow them to. If you tolerate disrespect, they'll assume it's acceptable. But when you carry yourself with quiet confidence, when your boundaries are clear and your words are measured, people start to realize that you're not someone they can play with. So how do you earn respect without being rude? It starts with mastering the energy you give off. You don't have to react to everything. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to prove your worth. The moment you stop chasing validation, begin commanding respect. Silence is often more powerful than any argument. The ability to remain composed when others lose control, that is dominance. There's a kind of respect that comes from presence alone. Have you ever noticed how some people can walk into a room, say nothing, yet everyone notices them? That's not magic. That's self-awareness. They know who they are. They've done the inner work. Their silence isn't emptiness, it's self-control. The awareness that not every battle is worth fighting, not every opinion is worth responding to, and not every person deserves access to your peace. Respect begins with boundaries. You cannot expect people to respect you if you don't respect your own limits. Stop saying yes when you want to say no. Stop explaining your choices to people who aren't paying the price of those decisions. Stop allowing emotional manipulators to guilt you into submission. Every time you betray your own boundaries to please someone else, you teach them that your comfort doesn't matter. And once you've taught that lesson, they won't forget it easily. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with locks. You decide who gets the key. Some people earn access through loyalty, honesty, and respect. Others don't. And you owe no apology for protecting your space. People might call you distant, cold, or arrogant, but understand this. Those labels are just the complaints of those who benefited when you had none. Never confuse kindness with weakness. You can be gentle and still powerful. You can be respectful and still firm. You can be compassionate and still say no. True grace is the ability to stand tall without stepping on anyone. You don't need to insult others to uplift yourself. You don't need to prove your intelligence by humiliating someone else. The ticket is your armor. Wear it with quiet confidence. If you want to earn respect, start by mastering your emotions. Nothing gives away your power faster than losing control. People test you. They poke at your insecurities. They try to provoke you to see how far they can push. When you react emotionally, you give them control over you. But when you respond calmly, you remain untouchable. The calm person always wins because the calm person cannot be manipulated. There's immense power in restraint. When someone disrespects you, the world expects anger. But when you respond with poise, it confuses them, it unsettles them, it reminds them that your peace is not theirs to destroy. Your silence can be the loudest statement. Let your composure be your revenge. Let your self-control be your dignity. People respect consistency. If you set a boundary today but compromise it tomorrow, they'll stop taking you seriously. If you say you won't tolerate disrespect but allow it again, they'll test you even more. Respect is not something you ask for, it's something you enforce calmly, consistently, without drama. The moment you start explaining your worth, you've already discounted it. Respect is the foundation. If you don't value your time, your energy, or your peace, others won't either. Speak to yourself the way you want others to speak to you. Walk like you belong where you are. Dress like you respect your presence. Communicate clearly without fear of rejection. People mirror how you treat yourself. When you move with quiet confidence, others adjust their tone. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is emotional detachment, not coldness, but control. Learn to detach from the need to please everyone, detach from the need to prove anything, detach from the opinions of people who don't contribute to your growth. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you refuse to let other people's chaos become your own. Cannot command respect from others if you constantly seek their approval. Approval is external, respect is internal. The moment you stop chasing acceptance, start attracting admiration. People are drawn to those who stand firm in their truth, even when it's unpopular. You don't need to argue to be understood. You just need to be clear about who you are. When you speak, speak with intention. Don't fill silence with unnecessary words. Choose your tone carefully. It can be soft and still powerful. The sharpest minds often speak the least, but when they do, every word lands. People listen to those who don't waste words. Speak less, mean more. Let your actions do most of the talking. If someone tries to humiliate you, don't defend yourself in desperation, just rise higher. If someone underestimates you, don't beg them to see your worth. Prove them wrong with your excellence. If someone disrespects you, don't fight for their validation. Walk away with dignity. Your absence is a louder message than any argument you could make. When you hold yourself to high standards, you naturally stand apart. People might call you difficult or unapproachable, but understand is not that you're unapproachable, it's that your energy doesn't entertain mediocrity. You've built yourself to be respected, not liked by everyone. And that's a beautiful thing, because when you stop trying to be liked by everyone, you finally start being respected by the right ones. You see, respect is magnetic. When you respect yourself, when you honor your word, when you stand firm in your values, you begin to attract people who mirror that energy. You no longer have to fight to be treated well. It becomes a natural standard. But it takes courage. Courage to be misunderstood. Courage to be disliked. Courage to stand alone. Respect and popularity rarely coexist. Choose respect, it lasts longer. And let me tell you something, people may not always agree with you, but they'll always remember how you carried yourself. The way you treat others in moments of power defines you far more than how you act in moments of weakness. Never let someone else's disrespect pull you out of character. Don't trade your grace for temporary satisfaction. Don't let anger speak for you. Keep your poise. It's your crown. The truth is, people respect boundaries they can't cross, energy they can't manipulate, and confidence they can't shake. The moment you make it clear that your peace is non-negotiable, everything around you starts to shift. The conversations change, the company changes, and the way people treat you changes, because they see that you're no longer easily accessible emotionally or mentally. Respect isn't built in a single conversation. It's built in every choice you make. Every time you walk away from drama, you earn respect. Every time you choose silence over gossip, you earn respect. Every time you uphold your values when it would be easier not to, you earn respect. Respect is not something you demand, it's something you demonstrate. And let's not forget, humility is not weakness. You can be humble without being submissive. You can listen without being silenced. You can care without being controlled. The greatest leaders lead through grace, not aggression. Their power comes not from dominance but from presence. They make people feel seen, yet never compromise their self-worth. Sometimes the most respectful thing you can do for yourself is to walk away, not because you're weak, but because you know your energy is too precious to waste. You don't argue with those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't chase people who take your presence for granted. Don't explain yourself to those who already decided to misjudge you. You simply detach, elevate, and continue with quiet strength. And when you carry that kind of energy, people will notice. They'll whisper about your calmness, your composure, your poise. Some will admire it, others will envy it, but all will respect it. Because in a world full of noise, the person who can remain grounded is the rarest kind of power. So never think you need to raise your voice to be heard. Your calmness can silence a room. Your confidence can demand attention without a word. Your presence can command respect without force. The goal isn't to dominate others, it's to master yourself. You become truly respected when your energy says, I don't compete, I don't chase, I don't beg. I simply attract what aligns with my value. That's not arrogance. That's awareness. It's knowing your worth so deeply that you no longer seek validation. You no longer fear rejection. You no longer bend for approval. Carry yourself with quiet confidence. Be kind, but don't be a pushover. Be humble, but not self-erasing. Be understanding, but not naive. Know when to speak, when to walk away, and when silence speaks louder than words. People will respect you not because you force them to, but because they'll feel the depth of your self-respect. They'll see it in your eyes, your tone, your choices. And that's a kind of respect that can't be faked. So remember, true power doesn't need to be loud. True confidence doesn't need to prove itself. True respect doesn't need to be demanded. Simply become someone who embodies it. And once you do, the world has no choice but to respond accordingly. Walk with grace, speak with intention, Protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. The more you value yourself, the fewer explanations you'll owe to anyone. And that's when people will start treating you not just with respect, but with reverence, because they'll know you're not just another person in the crowd. You are a presence, a standard, a force that doesn't need to shout to be felt. That's how you make people respect you, without ever being rude, by mastering yourself, not others, by staying graceful in a world that tests your patience, and by remembering always that the loudest statement you can ever make is your silence, your dignity, and your unwavering sense of self.